Boys Radio and Electronics Workbench. Today on the bench we have a realistic Navaho TRC 458. This is the radio that came after the TRC 457, which was very popular. And the reason this radio is here is customers asking for a recap. The radio is in working order. 4 watts swinging to about 12. Audio on sideband. It's on frequency. It looks good. Audio about 16 on sideband. The display is got a weird color to it, and the channel display is very dim. So I'm going to have to address that first. See if I can get the display chip back where it should be nice and bright. Don't know what's going on there. Gonna have to do some troubleshooting to find out. So I will take the covers off and investigate, and we'll get back to you, get some shots in there when I find out anything on the display, and then we'll start the recap if it's gonna be a good one. Looks in pretty nice shape, so I think we'll be okay. I'll be back. Okay, upon investigation of the display issue, it turns out that the ribbon cable right here was just a little loose and a little corroded, and I just pulled it, cleaned it, put a little deoxit on it, and the display came back pretty nice. I know it's pretty dim on the camera, but it's nice and bright here. Something about that color of red that my cameras don't pick up, so had that on the last radio I did too. So now we're going to pull this thing out and start the recap. We're just going to go through it and replace all these gray caps. They're all pretty bad. Should take a while. So I'll get this thing all unbuttoned. Get the bottom cover off. Let's get the bottom cover off and take a look. Okay, roll these in the bin. Yeah. All right, here's the bottom. Pretty clean in here. Doesn't look too bad. Check the power supply voltage. Make sure it's okay. And then I'm going to turn everything on here and get her going. I'll get you some shots as I get into it, and I'll be back. Go through this thing here a little bit. Got the desoldering station all powered up, and we'll go through and mark all of these caps with a Sharpie. All these electrolytics. These are kind of rough to do for some reason. They really a lot of caps in this one. Lots of caps. Bunch of them way back here in the corner. way down here in the nowhere land. Might have to pull this heat sink off just to get to those. Just a few here and a few there. They're everywhere. Yeah, that one there. I usually miss a few for some reason. There's that, there's one here. I go through it a couple of times. If I can not miss any. And of course these guys on the power supply. Now here's a size differential for you. 4700 at 35 volts, 3300 at 25 volts. It's 3 times the size. It's a great big thing. That's how they did it back then. They couldn't make them as small. Pretty high quality caps though. Gotta pull that one out, replace it, because it is old. These are 45-year-old caps. Alright, let the insanity begin. Get you some shots as I get through it. I'm about 2/3 done. I started over here with the power supply and been working my way from here around this way. I just did all the really tough ones to get to are right in this heat shield where the audio chip is. And work my way over here. So my next candidate is this guy right here. Just gonna keep on keeping it on. No use showing you the particulars on it, you know, you just find it from the other side, and I usually flip it up like this and go in here and look at it, find out where it is, try to figure out where the leads are. This one's kind of off at an angle, try to put my finger on it, and then do the doodads, and I'll get back with a couple more shots there. When I get her done. It's already been about 2.5 hours. I just got done with lunch, so I'm ready. And we have an interrupt. Just put the last cap in, put the shields back on here. Had to take both of them off to get to a couple of caps. But it is done. Time to plug it in. Plug it in, and see if we got smoke. See if it works. That, everybody's doing the "is it gonna blow up" thing after you replace, 35 caps. You hope you did it right without bridging anything. And okay, you there we go. No display. The display is out. Oh no. Audio. Everything's working though. Except for the display quit working. Well, I'm going to have to chase that, see what happened. I must have knocked a wire loose. I'll get to it. See if I can fix it, hopefully. It's nothing stupid. Found it. Display is back. Only took a minute. I had a little tiny fleck of solder bridge right on the corner of this Dang shield. Shield right here. Shield right in the corner here. I had tiny little solder bridge over to that wire, and that's what it was. So just it took a tiny little hairline, just enough to irritate you to death. Audio, audio, audio. Okay. Hello, everything's working. She's good, doing good. Squelch is working. RF gain is working. Yep. So next thing I gotta do is just check alignment. I'm pretty sure it's pretty darn close, so looks good in the counter. Yeah, it's really, really close. I'll feed back through my other radio and see if it's good. Everything in here is pretty much sealed. Don't have to screw with it too much. It's got good audio. Good carrier, good audio. Looks pretty good on the swing. Not too bad. I'm going to check a couple of things. And that was a marathon and a half. Oh, here's the damage. That's what we got left. That was more than the last one. I think that had more caps than the GE did. So everything looks golden so far. I'll go through the alignment a little bit, and we'll do the final on this sucker, and then I'm going to put it on the burn-in pile. Let it sit. I don't know if he wants this to be, I think he wants that to be just what it is. Yeah, just leave it what it is. The light's kind of bright, but he likes it, so I'm good. I'll be back in a minute. So I just did a quick frequency check on it, and all the oscillators and clarifiers and everything are in perfect harmony. They're all really, really close within spec. No need to dick with it anymore. The transmit's good. The power supply is up there. Everything seems to be okay. I'm going to do the, so you can see we have display now. Pretty dim on the, nice and bright here, but on the camera it's dim, so I think it's just my cameras are junk. My junky cameras. So I'm going to put the covers back on, put this thing on the air, and let her sit for a while. Let her sit. And we'll have to clean up our desoldering stuff again. Clean everything up, put it away for the next one. That's a job after I get done with this. So let's put the cover back on. Everything seems okay. It looks like this is a pretty nice unit. These old realistics, they're really good. So in case you're not familiar with the chassis, this is a Uniden 858 PLL chip, dual conversion with a relay. These were workhorses from the late 70s, built in 1977-78. Put this sucker back together. I'll be back when I got the covers on. Okay, we are 4 hours later from when I started. It's back on the air. looking pretty good. Everything's good on it. Do a little bit of a listen here. Got a little bit of skip land going on. Kind of noisy, but hang out here for I did have to take the cover back off and adjust the sideband a little bit. It was a little off on lower, and I didn't notice it first until I put it on the air, and I went, that didn't sound right. Go back and do the frequency adjustments again. I must have bumped them. Anything can happen, right? So, and there she is. She's going to go into the burn-in stack, and it's going to sit there and run for a day or two, and then back to the customer. Make sure that it kind of stays where I put it, and all that kind of happy stuff. I had a little glitch on the camera there, and after when I move it, it seems like I got a bad connection somewhere. Anyway, that concludes the Realistic Navaho recap, model TRC 458. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's been a long morning for me doing this thing, so I'm just going to bid you adieu, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye now.